unconditional love. It is Greek, and unconditional love means unconditional acceptance. Martin Luther King described it as the love of God operating through the human heart. And so we come together every week to explore this thing of love and to go deeper and deeper into practical spirituality, which allows us to take control of our lives and to change our lives. So if you're out there in virtual land right now, hey, check in. Let me know you're out there. Say hello to your friends. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you're thinking about. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me what your big concerns are. Tell me what you're grateful for. Just talk out there, because I will watch and I will look at every single one of these comments, and they help me bring a deeper and clearer message. So I want to share a story with you. Yesterday, or Friday, Gene and I were going out to dinner. And we went to one of our favorite restaurants called Fiore's, and that's in Flower Mound. And when we got there, we had this wonderful waiter by the name of Antonio. And after he was there for a couple of minutes talking with us, he said, "Hey, Agape, is that a church?" I said, "Yeah, it's a church." He says, "Well, where is it?" I said, "You're looking at it." He got stunned. I said, "What do you mean you're looking at it?" I said, "I'm the church. We're virtual right now. So wherever I go, there is Agape." And so he mentioned that he attended the large fellowship church in Grapevine. And so we started to explore the things that we had in common. And it was amazing how we could find how love was at the center of all these things. And what we did is we focused on what we agreed on. We didn't focus on the differences. And you see, I think that's the key to life today, to focus on what you have in common and agree to that. And that forms a bond. And so I share that with you because with all of the diversity, all of this stuff of people polarized, this is the time to be the light and to be a person of unpolarization. How's that? Unpolarization. You be the person who unpolarizes things by being a person who is in love. Remember this, everyone's unique. They're not supposed to be like you, and you're not supposed to be like them. Everyone's unique, and our job is to accept that, to know that, and to allow people that freedom so that they can allow us to be free as well. So let's take a moment now and let's just sort of calm down, bring ourselves right where we are. And I invite you to come into a comfortable seated upright position. Your back is straight. Your hands gently resting on your lap, and close your eyes. I want you now to bring your awareness to your body and just notice what you feel as you scan your body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Just notice what you're feeling. Don't be attached. Don't try to get rid of anything. Just notice. Now notice where your mind is. What are you thinking about? Where are your thoughts centered? Just notice that. Now ask the question, who's noticing the thoughts? Who's noticing the body? Because that is truly who you are. You have a body and you have a mind, and you use them to experience life. But the essence, the allness, the perfection of you is neither of them. So realizing that your body is your vessel to experience life, bless it. Be grateful for it. Realizing that your mind also allows you to experience this life, bless it. Be grateful for it. But at the same time, realize that you, the observer, are the master. And you have the power to direct where the mind focuses, how the mind experiences, and how the mind functions will also determine how the body functions. So see your body as whole, perfect, and complete. See your mind in balance. Feel a sense of peace come over you for no reason other than it is your natural state. Feel it moving through every cell of your body, this warm, inner, golden light of peace. Healing, nurturing, comforting. Feel yourself at home in the arms of the divine, of the infinite, of pure light, pure love. Let go of anything unlike it and bring yourself to a state of gratitude that you are able to be here right now, tapped in, tuned in, connected to the uniqueness that you are with the infinite that has created you and that you will always be a part of. Bless it. And now gently start to bring yourself back to this time, to this place. Moving your hands, whatever it is, and when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this now. Well, today I'm going to continue on my series, The Path to Freedom. And today's talk will be how to release the past. And what I understand is that our past can be our greatest teacher, or it can become our greatest prison. How many of you can remember something, remember a person from the past, and it may be a really good memory, and you keep bringing it forward into the present, and you start comparing people in your life with the memory you have of that person. And because you keep comparing, you may be doing a bad job on the person you're with, the people in your life right now, because you've embellished on this memory of someone from your past. Or it could become a relationship from your past that was absolutely horrific. And because of that, you're bringing that type of relationship into this now, and you will not open up to a new possibility because you're bringing that old in. So it's like a prison. So the past can be our greatest teacher if we want it to be, or it can become our greatest prison. It can lock us into unrealistic expectations, unrealistic habits. It all depends on how we look at it. You see, in order to release the past, to become free from the past, we must make peace with it. That, my friends, is the key to dealing with the past, to make peace with it. So what I want to do today is to talk about some practical ideas that we can use to make this happen. You see, the first action we can take is to review a past event and see what can we learn from it. Once we see what we can learn from it, we can now let it go because it no longer has a purpose in our life. We can look at an event where we may have spoken harshly about someone and they reacted in a certain way, and we can say, oh, I wasn't sensitive to where they were. I could have rephrased that. Okay, I get that. Maybe I didn't need to be so blunt. I use that because that's always a lesson I'm learning, because I'm always blunt. I'm always sharing myself as I am. Here's what I'm learning. Most people are not ready to hear Lee the way Lee is. Hopefully you are, because you're watching this. So maybe we're the right vibration. What does Abraham say? Abraham says there's never a crowd on the leading edge. I don't know that this is the leading edge, but it's certainly an edge. And I know that at times my free thinking outside of tradition about traditional religion does not bode well for other people accepting me and understanding me. And so the lesson for me is don't speak it unless it's necessary. And I keep getting that lesson over and over again, but I don't live in the past over it. I learn. What are the signs that I might have seen as to how I speak, to who I speak, and when I speak? You see, I do that, and I get that lesson. I get the opportunity for this every day pretty much. And I have to weigh it, and then I have to let it go. Sometimes I can let it go real fast. Sometimes it may take me an hour or two. Sometimes, depending on the situation, it may take me a couple days to let it go. But a couple days is a lot better than a month, a year. How many of you are carrying a past event from 30, 40, 50 years ago? A lot of people do. They can't let it go because they're not looking at it. They're not seeing what they can learn from it and releasing it. They may not even think they can learn from it. They're just saying, damn it, that experience. Well, that's not learning from it. Every experience we have, there's something to learn from. The second action we can take is to rewrite our past by understanding our emotional attachment to a past event, and then to neutralize how we look at that event in order to eliminate the emotional charge. You see, it's interesting. My brother and I were raised by the same mom and dad. We were a year and a half apart. And when we got older, our childhood experiences were exactly the opposite. All I could remember was having a really good childhood, where my brother remembered his childhood as horrific. Here's what I remember. I remember that he was the spoiled one. He was my dad's ichiban. You know what ichiban means? It's Japanese. He was my dad's favorite. And because he was the youngest, he got most of the attention. Guess what? He was also straight A student. I wasn't. I could care less about straight A's. Here was the big difference between my brother and I. He was a people pleaser. I wasn't. And so when you look at the event, I looked at the event and I saw, oh, my parents taught me by not giving me attention the way they gave my brother to be free. I had to find my own inner satisfaction. I can remember so clearly that at the time how it bothered me was 8th grade. I was playing football for Sacred Heart School, and I was an end. And I remember being put into the game, and it was the second from the last game of the year. And I was sent out on a route, and I caught the pass and scored a touchdown. I came home higher than anything. Told my mom, and she says, oh, my dad didn't come home till the next day. He says, oh, who cares? I rewrote it, the past, and said, oh my God, it was one of the best days of my young life. I scored a touchdown. All my teammates saw it. The coach saw it. Most importantly, I knew what I had done. I rewrote how I looked at that situation in my life. It doesn't matter what the situation is. We can rewrite it so that we can emotionally neutralize the situation. To rewrite it, you've got to be able to see as much good as perceived bad. When you do that, the emotion comes out of it. The third action that we can take is to find gratitude for whatever the experience is. There is always something to be grateful for. I don't care what the situation is. I was in a horrific car accident. Oh, God bless, I'm grateful. I didn't die. My gosh, I'm grateful I didn't kill someone. My God, thank God I had insurance. Always ways to be grateful. I don't care what the situation is. There are ways that you will find to be grateful. Here's what I know. We're on this planet for a finite number of years in this body, with this persona, with this ego, and our only purpose is to fully experience life. And to experience more life, be grateful for what you experience, because then when you're grateful, you're not going to drag all the garbage with you forward, which is going to taint your next experience and your next experience and your next experience. Gratitude gives you freedom. Why wouldn't you want to feel free? That's what I ask myself all the time. Someone does something that ticks me off, I find something to be grateful for so I don't have to worry about it. Because once you find gratitude, the event no longer has its charge, does it? Gratitude is a key. The fourth action we can take is to understand that this event is not who we are. It's something we've experienced. Too many times we allow events that happen into our life to determine who we are rather than experience. Here's a big one. I was talking with someone this week about the fact of losing your job. I remember when I lost my job in 2004, I was a vice president of marketing in the corporate world, and I lost my job, and I was just starting ministerial school. I couldn't get over that I lost my job. Why? Because my ego identified who was Lee Wallach. Lee Wallach was a vice president. He was an executive in the insurance industry. That's not who I was. That's what I did. But I was brainwashed. I was domesticated into believing that what I did defined me. And then I got let go from my job, and I said, well, that defines me. I got let go. Turned out it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because I was able to go full-time to ministerial school to get my master's in consciousness studies, to become an assistant minister at the center in Dallas, and then in March of 2009 to start this thing we call Agape Spiritual Center. And this is the greatest joy that I've ever had. So again, you can go back and you can see all the prior actions about rewriting the story, about becoming unattached to it, about seeing the gratitude in the situation. Oh my God, yeah, this was the best thing that ever happened. So the event of being like, oh, didn't define me. It's just an experience that taught me to really understand who I was not an experience, was not what I did. You see, it's not what we do. It's not the doingness about life that is meaningful. It is the beingness. Who am I being? That is where the greatest gift of life comes from. A fifth action we can take is simply this: to remember that the past no longer exists. It's just a memory. It's just something we've stored in our mind. It's not there. In this now, I don't give a hoot what happened to you. You can say, this is horrific. This is the most horrific thing that ever happened. This is the most horrific thing. In this moment, that thing is not happening. It's not there. It's not real. Only this moment is real. Everything else is an illusion. But we won't let go of the illusion. We have been domesticated. We got to bring it forward. We got to keep it with us. Let it friggin' go. It's a memory. It doesn't really exist. Learn from it. Be grateful for it. Rewrite it. Release the emotional attachment. Let it go. Now, it's not as easy as what I'm saying, but that's the spiritual work. And what we talk about at Agape is practical spirituality, because you've got to be able to find the tools that allow you to release it. And finally, we can learn to accept the past, for without it, we would not be who we are. I look at my life and everything that's happened to me, and I realize that without one itty bitty little thing, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And the person that I am today in this now is whole and perfect. The person you are this very moment is whole and perfect. Realize that everything in your life up to this moment allowed you to become this person. Accept it, bless it, and then you can live from that acceptance. You can live from that blessing, and you can move into a greater and greater sense of awareness, which will change your life. Because the greater your awareness, the greater your life experience will be. And you're here for one reason, my friends: to experience all that this life has to offer. The power is in you. What are you going to do about it? Let's take a moment and let's go into prayer. And let's know that there is one infinite, divine, powerful presence that we call God, we call spirit, we call universal mind. Heck, we can call it George, we can call it Mary. It doesn't matter, for no name can define it. It is something that has always been and always will be. It is the seen, the unseen, the known, the unknown, and it is the unknowable. It is all powerful and it is all wisdom. It is that which creates all things out of itself, and all things are a part of it. I know that I am an individualization of that very one consciousness. I'm unique, whole, and perfect because I was created by perfection itself. As I know this about me, I know this for each person listening, that each person listening is a perfect, whole, and complete divine expression. I know that there is one mind, that mind is God's mind, that mind is perfect, and that mind is my mind and your mind right here, right now. And what I call forth is the inner wisdom within me and within you, the infinite wisdom within me and within you, to come forth and show the way, the lesson needed to be learned from all the past events of our lives, to grasp that lesson, to fully release the past, and to reclaim our freedom to be in the now, our freedom to create anew, our freedom to move forward into an ever-expanding, never-ending experience of love, of life, of peace, of beauty, of abundance, and of health. It is in this knowing that I go into a state of gratitude, for it is in the oneness that all this is made so. So I simply call it good. I bless it. I allow it to be. And so it is. Amen. It's a joy to share these messages each and every week with you. And I invite you, if you are a part of this Agape community, I would invite you to return the gift by making a donation back to us. You can find the button. It'll be in the Facebook description. It'll also be in the YouTube description, or go to AgapeSpiritualCenter.com. Click on that give button. Make a donation so that we can continue to bring and to expand how we're bringing this message to the world. I would ask you to do that because in giving, we receive more. So if you've received something, I invite you to give back. I also want to let you know that Tuesday of this week, I'm starting the class, The 5 Agreements. We will cover the first 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz and the 5th agreement. So if you are interested in being a part of a class for 5 weeks, go to AgapeSpiritualCenter.com, click on classes, and register and sign up. I think it's a nominal fee of $100 for 5 weeks. That's a bargain. You will be with like-minded people. You will be asked so many incredible questions that will take you to a whole other level of awareness. I promise you, not only will you come out of this class changed, but you'll come out connected with other people of like mind. So do yourself a gift. Give yourself a gift. Do yourself a favor. Sign up for a class. It's going to be a small, intimate class, but I promise you, it'll be so worthwhile. So if you're out there and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Rev Lee, please subscribe. We just passed, 9,100 subscribers. We're on our way to 10,000. People say, why do you want more subscribers? So we can get the message out to more people. Our role is to touch more lives and to teach a positive, practical spirituality that empowers others to experience a greater life filled with love and a sense of fulfillment. That's our simple mission. And I am so honored and grateful to be part of that experience with you. So however I can serve you, support you, let me know. At Agape, we teach this. If you need support, ask. Ask and it is given. Isn't that what the great master said? So until next week, or until you join me for meditation in the morning at 7 a.m. every day via Zoom, I do a talk at 8 a.m. every day via Facebook and Zoom, or you can wait till next Sunday or whenever. I want you to know one thing. I love you and I accept you just like you are. Go create a great day, everyone.